So I couldn't find a wizard's hat for this video that I wanted to do, so I'm going to steal my girlfriend's witch's hat. And Stranger Things just dropped, and I really want to kind of talk about something that's been on my mind, and that I have discussed with her about this, and she is just not having it when I discuss it. But I have a theory about this show, and today I want to dive into that theory that Stranger Things has been telegraphing from the very first episode. The twist that will break the internet into just little pixelated shards, and the twist that we weren't ready for. And I know that some other people have definitely tried to predict this before, but I want to give my 2 cents on the matter and explain why the entire show is just one long Dungeons and Dragons campaign. And I'm not talking about like just inspired by D&D. I'm talking about like full meta revealing ending, the basement, the dice, the table, the players, roll credits. And let's unpack the prophecy, shall we? So, the beginning is the end. The first scene in Stranger Things isn't a monster attack, and it's not just a government lab. It's not even showing anything from the upside down. It's the table. The boys playing D&D. So, that isn't decoration, it's declaration. The show starts at the table because of the source. The Forge, the storyteller's altar. The Demogorgon appears in the campaign minutes later. Will's dragged away by something that the boys immediately name the Demogorgon. The fantasy and the big real bleed together like two worlds made of narrative glue. So Stranger Things isn't. It opens by telling us what it is that we just don't recognize it. So let's move on to the villains. They aren't original. So the Demogorgon and the Mind Flayer, Vecna, every main villain in this show is straight out of a monster manual. So even the cult imagery, even the little creatures in the early Upside Down draft, they draft these things in and they mirror campaign lore. The kids don't name them after science. They don't name them after mythology. They name them after D&D, which means you have either two possibilities here. They're labeling real threats with fantasy names, or the threats only exist because the players imagine them. And Stranger Things really loves to lean into option 2. So, because in D&D, the villain is only the only I cannot speak. I'm so sorry. I'm like lost in this thought process of it. So, in Stranger Things, the villain is only real because the players believe in it, just like it would be for the actual Dungeons and Dragons game. So, also the characters act like players. So, Mike being dramatic, Dustin stargazing with emotional, and Will's just always in agony, I suppose. Just always just breaking down. The main cast isn't written like TV archetypes. They're written like specific types of tabletop gamers. So Mike is the emotional leader, the player who narrates the plot out loud, and Will is the chosen one who constantly gets hooked into quests. He's the DM's favorite target, always the center point of supernatural drama. Dustin is a strategist, the rules lawyer, the guy interrupting to explain how something should work. Lucas is the skeptical player who always challenges the DM. Every campaign has one. And Max plays like a wild rogue who rolls first and thinks later. And as for Eddie, Eddie's just Eddie's just kind of a character, really. He's a stand-in for the dungeon master. He names Vecna, he defines lore, and he explains how the threat works. I don't think this is accidental. This is a show's way of winking at us. So, the show also doesn't follow TV rules. It follows campaign rules. So, in Season 1, it's the beginner adventure. A small enemy, local mystery, simple stakes like that. And in Season 2, it's the leveling up arc. The party gets bolder. The villain gets a little bit bigger, like quite literally too. And Season 3 is the large scale campaign. New NPCs are introduced, new faction, more complicated lore, And season 4 is the classic reveal. The villain was behind everything the whole time. And the Duffer Brothers have literally said that season 5 is the final dungeon. This isn't just TV placing, this is DM placing. So the Upside Down is a sandbox. The Upside Down doesn't obey the rules of nature. It doesn't operate like a real dimension. It operates like a game map. Need a new monster? It exists. You need a new rule? It manifests. Need the world to freeze in time? Done. The Upside Down is shaped by imagination, not physics. Just like DM world building behind the screen. Um, it's not a place that was discovered. It's a place that was created. The government is the plot delivery system. Think about how the lab works in Stranger Things. They appear when the plot needs answers. They disappear when the heroes need the spotlight. They're always involved just enough to push the story forward. That's not realism. The DM nudging the players along, that's really what it is. And 11 is also the wild card player. 11 doesn't follow the rules. Her powers scale up and down depending on the challenge. Um, she evolves on emotional beats, not science. She feels like a player making unexpected choices at the table. She brings the she breaks the world because she's the one writing it, kind of. And the nostalgia isn't realistic here. Here's where it gets kind of poetic now. Stranger Things doesn't recreate the 80s. It recreates the dream of the 80s. The movies and the music, the posters in the background. I mean, hell, even the kids riding the bikes. The suburbia, the adventure. It's a world of a bunch of teenagers, and they chose that to kind of just set this campaign in. It's not an era, it's more like a fantasy. So, and the characters don't die because they have hit points, which is kind of wild to me. Now, let's be honest, these characters have survived things no human would, such as falling and mind invasion, explosions, monster crawls, dimensional travel. The This isn't just plot armor, it's dice. Failure doesn't kill them, just like in the game, it pushes them forward. And Stranger Things loves meta reveals. Every season ends in a reveal, actually. The world expands, the lore changes, the villain reorganizes, and the story grows more self aware as it progresses. It's moving towards something, and the ending that ties every thread. Like, I feel like it's really coming to a close with that. So, I mean, think about it. The final scene, the camera zooms out, the campaign ends. The story was the kid's story all along. Not fantasy, not parallel worlds, not trauma. Uh, I just really, I just really want to believe this. I'm sorry. Like, it's, I just really know they're gonna prove me wrong on it. I'm just waiting for it at the end. They're gonna straight up just, right, like they say in the new season, like, we're gonna go to a nice sunny place and there's gonna be a beautiful waterfall there. And um a last session before the party grow up, that'll be the end of Stranger Things. Since day one, I can just see that. And it might be even a thing too where, like, they've already recorded this back at season 1, and they're going to just insert that shot into the ending here, and it's like the camera just panning up, and they're all just, slapping ass and saying good game after it's done, and they win, and they beat Vecna. And this is if this actually happens, Stranger Things won't just be a show about kids fighting monsters. It'll be a show about storytelling itself and the worlds that we've built together, about the game that lets us become heroes. Because in the end, the greatest adventure wasn't in the Upside Down. It was around the table, 4 kids rolling dice and creating legends, like the best campaigns really do. So let me know if you want a part 2 when I go even deeper into character evidence, timeline clues, Vecna's meta role, and the ending that the doofos, stupid, the Duffers hinted at, because I've got theories stacked like an initiative role here. And just remember, just because it happens in Hawkins doesn't mean that it wasn't real. So stay tuned next time, and remember to hit that like and subscribe button to get some more comic book lore news, especially with my Superman shirt on here. And hopefully we will be talking about some more Stranger Things when this new season ends. So yeah, see you.